Hello guys, welcome back to my channel The Easy Concepts. I am Deepak Niyar and I was thinking to make a video on this topic since a long time and now I am here today. So what I want to talk today is basically about APIs. So first I will discuss a little bit detail of the API, what an API is. I will not give you the definition like application program interface. You already know the full form of this. But I really want to tell you what an API is, and then I will tell you the difference between Twitter API version 1.1 and version 2. So I'm going to talk about these, and then I will show you the Postman, which is an API platform for developers to design, build, test, and iterate their APIs. So you can see this definition on Wikipedia, maybe, right? So it is just a definition, but I will show you the working demo of it, how you can use Postman to create and test your APIs, and then I will write some programs to show you how you can use these programs to download the tweets using V1.1 and V2. Okay, so I think this is clear to you what I'm going to do in this video. This could be a lengthy video, but yes, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be really helpful for you. If you are a student and you want to create some projects, if you are a developer who are trying to use Twitter API for building something, right? Or you could be a researcher who is trying to download the tweets related to a specific topic and maybe analyze those kind of tweets for anything. It could be a product review, or it could be finding out the sentiments of user, or it could be like finding out misinformation, which is increasing a lot these days. It could be bots identification. So you can be doing any of these things. You can also find out the influencers. So there are a lot of things, right? So I was thinking since a long time to make a video on this, and then I suddenly realized that Elon Musk has announced that they are going to shut down these free APIs and they are going to make it paid. Luckily, my API is working right now. I am able to query using this Postman, and even I am able to run these programs. So for this lecture, at least, I will be able to show you the things. So today is 14 Feb, and they were about to close it on 13 Feb, but still it is working. So I am happy that I am able to record this lecture and show you the working of these things. So it is not just Twitter API. You can use a lot of other APIs if you want to work on. So maybe in future I can create a lecture on GitHub APIs. And it is not just that you need to work on GitHub APIs. There are a lot of other things. If you go to Postman, in Postman client, you can find out. Let me show you the Postman first. If you see the home page of Postman, you need to use this URL postman.com. And here you can see there are a lot of APIs. Explore popular APIs. So you can explore all of these. And if something is free, see ChatGPT API is also here. So there are a lot of APIs, right? You can use these APIs in your business, in your product development, or as a student, you can explore these APIs and try to make some fun projects as well. So that depends on you what you are going to do, right? So let's understand this thing first. What an API is. So you can consider this API. I will just tell you in lame terms, but I hope you understand this thing. So consider this thing a database where all the data is stored, a database server. So this kind of server could belong to any of the organization, Twitter, maybe Google, whoever is having a application, web application or mobile application. I'm just giving these three names, but it could be for any other company as well, right? The famous example is Twitter, all right, and Google as well, because you use a lot of things like you use Google Maps, you use Google Translations, and all of these things, right? So basically, there is a API. Its full form is Application Program Interface. But consider that there is something in between here, right? And this is API. So when you need some data from the server, it could be a browser, it could be a mobile app, and browser could be any of these browsers, whatever we use these days. It could be Chrome, it could be Firefox, it could be Safari, it could be Edge, any of these. It could be Brave. So we have a lot of browsers, right? And in mobile app, you could have Android app, you could have iPhone app, and so on. So whenever you open a website in any of these, you like, for example, if you open a Twitter app, so the tweet that are posted on the Twitter will be same whether you see it in Chrome, in Firefox, in Safari. I mean to say whether you see it in a browser or mobile app, you are going to see same thing, right? Similarly, if you go to Amazon website, most probably you are going to see the same thing if they have not made with any custom changes into it. In website, you are going to see the same products, and in app also you are going to see the same product, and same with the other application like Flipkart or maybe Facebook. So if you see its app or website, you are going to see the same thing. Sometimes these websites or these companies promote their products and they say that you will get some kind of discount in app. So that is a custom thing. But most probably you are going to see the same thing. So what API is going to get here? Basically, these things are not directly connected to the database. What they are going to do, they are going to talk to API first, and then this API is going to fetch the data. They will send a request to the server and they will get some response from there, right? And the response will not be a web page like you are seeing in Chrome or Firefox, or it will not be the data that you are seeing in Android iPhone. It is just going to fetch data in some form, and the data that you could see, that could be possibly in form of JSON, or it could be CSV, or any other data format, right? So API is just getting the data, and then that API is forwarding that data to these apps, and they have their custom codes, and then these websites or these apps are showing that data in the format, in a format that can be like shown to you as per your device size, or maybe your like mobile phone size, or maybe the size of website, or maybe depending on the browser. So that contain whatever you are getting, or the data whatever you are getting through API from this server, that will be designed in a custom format according to these things. But the data that you are getting is same in every case, and that's why API are needed. And how the API are doing all these things? So API basically follows, or basically have these functions which we called CRUD operation. So basically using this you can create some data, you can read some data, you can update some data, and you can delete some data. So these are basic operations, but using these operations you can do a lot of things that I'm going to show you in a while. So the first thing, if we talk about reading, so let me tell you how Twitter does this thing. You can search and get the tweet of past 7 days, or maybe past 30 days, and some of the functions allow you to download the data or fetch the data, which is as past as 2006, because that was the year when Twitter was formed. Yeah, so this was the year when Twitter was formed. So you can fetch the data since this date to today's date, right? So these things are provided by different functions, and different controls, admin controls, or you can say different administrative rights are given to different kind of APIs, so that you can these functions. So this is searching, and you're searching in a different way, right? Using different functions. What you can do, you can also search a particular tweet using a ID. So basically you are reading the data, but you can change this thing and get a lot of other, like you can get a lot of things, right? You are just using one function, but you are getting your data in different way. Similarly, you can create one tweet at a time, or maybe you can create multiple tweets at a time, maybe using this same function. So these, or maybe you can delete just one tweet or multiple tweets. So there are a lot of functions that we are going to see, but this is the basic. I hope it's clear to you. Now, what I'm going to show you, let's let's open the terminal first. So I have some programs here which I have already written. If you see this program, I will open this program and this program. So this is the program which is using version 1.1 of Twitter, and this is using version 2.2, right? So let me show you the Twitter v1 first. So I'm just running program right now, and I'm using a query here, COVID, I think. Yeah, here is a COVID. And this program is basically downloading data since last 2 days or for last 1 day. This program just use this function to download the data, right? I will show you how it does. This is the whole program that I have written, but I just want to show you how this program downloads the data. So Python 3, you can see this thing, Python 3 and Twitter v1. It has just started downloading. I've just closed it because there will be a lot of data. If you open this, it's giving you many tweets. You can see it has downloaded 300 tweets, and this is v1.1, right? Now what I will do, I will just use this v2 version 2 to download some data, and maybe I will rename it a little bit, and I am renaming it COVID v1, and now I am going to use this one, right? And then you will see how different is the data in these both the formats. So it is saying when authenticating request to Twitter via v2, you must use key and token from Twitter developer app that is attached to project. Okay. Okay. So what I have done basically, I am including this config, and in config I have used v1.1 keys. How you are going to use those keys, I will tell you in a while. But let me change those keys first. I have changed the keys now. I will just start downloading. Okay, I will close this program now and see what I have got. COVID, and there are 3 files. Why I'm getting 3 files? I have written my program in such a way. I will just open all of them first and see. This is showing me some users. This is showing me some tweets. See, and these are 197 tweets. These are also some tweets, and you can see how many tweets. And you can see how many tweets are these? 158. So here are 158. These are 197. So why there is there is difference between these two? And see the users, and users are 393. So why we are getting these many tweets, these many other tweets, and these many users? But in v1, if you look at this, we are getting just one file, and in one file we are getting one line and nothing else. So let me show you the difference between these two. But let me tell you one more thing first. You need Twitter API keys for running these programs. So what you have to do, you need to go to developer account and apply for the keys. So this is Twitter API v2 that I'm using right now. This is academic research one. So it has a lot of free tweets availability, but I think that has been closed now. I don't know till how much time I'm going to access this. But yes, you can see there is essential one, elevated, and academic research. Using this, you can download basically 10 million tweets per month. Okay, guys, so let me show you the way how you can get the Twitter API keys. So you need to apply for them in the developer portal. You have to go to developer.twitter.com, and here you need to apply for them. I have already applied for the keys, and that's why I got it. This is the academic version, and using this, I have already extracted these many tweets this month. So if you see this, if you click this one, this is academic research one. This is already exhausted. This is another one. If I reveal the secret a little bit, and hopefully this one, okay, this is not set up, but yeah, key, if I see this, this is which I had applied earlier. So I have these both kind of access. This is general one, elevated one, and this is the academic research one. So you can apply for them. You need to give a lot of details of your project that you're going to work, and that's how you get it. Okay, so I will not go into much of the details because I have already told this thing in one of my videos. You can go to the project section and get there, right? Let's go back now. Let's discuss this difference. Okay, so I will just copy one of the tweet from here. Okay, and I will go here. This is JSON viewer. JSON viewer, you can just refresh it first. You can also open, you can paste the text here, whatever you have copied from here. I have copied just one tweet. And this is the tweet that I have got for the V1. And if you go to viewer, you can see you are getting a lot of details here. You are getting JSON, created ID str. There are two IDs. I will just make it bigger. You are getting full text, you are getting truncated false, you are getting some entities, hashtags, user mentions, you are getting some metadata as well. You are getting source from where this tweet has been tweeted. Then you are getting some geolocations and all these matrices about the tweet. You are also getting the user details, the one who the tweeted this tweet, and name, screen name, and all the description about the user. And there are a lot of things you can see. All right. So in V 1.1, we were getting all these things by default. We were not doing anything. We just need to search the tweet. I will show you how. Okay, so this is the function, right? So we are just using this function API search tweets. We are using query. Even if you don't use all these things, we are going to get this kind of tweet that I have shown you right now. And this is all you are going to get. All right. Now just look at the tweets that you have got from here. So this is the user detail. The object that you are getting in this case in V2, you are not getting everything. I will show you how you are not getting everything. But that object you are getting, you have a lot of details in that. You are getting the user details. You are getting the details of the tweet. You are getting the details of the media. You can extract these objects separately and maybe save into same file or different file. I have just tried to save these things into different files. So let's go to JSON viewer again and copy it here. Go to viewer, and this is the detail of user for some of the tweet. The follower count and all these things are here. If you go to tweet if you see the one tweet, I'm picking one of them. Just copy it here. See the viewer, and now you are not getting any user details here. You're just getting the text here, the language, but still it is a lot of data you are getting. And you are getting public matrices, edit history, context, annotation. There are a lot of data inside this, but this is not what you are going to get by default. This is you are getting just because we have mentioned all these things here. We are showing expansion, tweet fields, user fields, place fields. If you don't mention all of these things, you are not going to get that much data, right? So I will close this file first, and now I will show you how we can write a program to do all these things. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, if you want to see the Twitter API details, what you have to do, you can see here in developer portal. You can go to developer.twitter.com and you can see the documentation. You are seeing here version 1.1. You are seeing Twitter API v2 as well. So if you want to search the tweet, you have to go to standard v 1.1 or Twitter API v2, whatever you want to do, and then go to tweets, search tweet, and see here. This is the way you can search a tweet using this thing, right? V1. So let me show you this thing here. So I have already created some request here. You can also create a new request like this. Just make a HTTP request, paste it here. It's get. Now you need some data, some of the parameters for getting the data using this request. So see, you are getting some parameters. Q is a parameter in which you need to provide a query, and all the fields are optional, right? So let me just put a Q field here, Q, and let's suppose you want to get data on COVID, but you need authorization as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy a bearer token. So I have already copied it, but right now I'm using 1.1. Just see this. See, I will just send the request from here, and I am getting something. See, I have got something, right? I will just copy it from here, copy the data from that place to this. So this is the data I'm getting. See how much data I'm getting using v1.1. Okay, there is status and all these things. Data will be inside that, so it's okay. Okay, so basically we are getting a lot of tweets using this keyword that I have searched here, COVID. I'm getting a lot of tweets. That's why the data is not much more than I expected. So just look at one of them. So you are getting created at ID, str, entities, and all these things that I've shown you previously. You are getting user details as well. If this tweet is retweeted, you will get this is not retweeted. That's why you are not getting anything here. If it is retweeted, you will get lot more details here. You see, retweeted status is again true. Then in that case, you are getting some nested objects inside this. Okay, again you are getting some other user inside this, and one more user should be outside. It is the outside user. So I will not talk into much details of this, but yes, this is the way you are getting the data, right? And now move to another one. So this is API 1.1, and that's how you get the data. I will also write a program for this. Now what you can do, you can search the tweets using v2, and I have already taken a id. If you don't want to get the id for this tweet, let me show you what you can do. Just go to v2. Here is v2. You need to search the search tweets, and if you want to search full archive or maybe the recent search, for the recent search you need a function. So see, I am searching for the TP, which you need to download and install, and using this client I want to search the tweets, the recent tweets. So let me find out the function here. Search all. Here we need to get the tweets using, this is for getting the user tweets. If you want to search all, you need to use this function, or if you want to search recent, you need to use this function. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this function for writing program. But see the reference of this is the reference. Let's go here, and this is the HTTP address that you need to use for this. So what I will do, I will just create a new one, HTTP request, paste it here, and just go here, see what is required. Query is required. Now it's not queue, it's query, right? So just get a query and put a value COVID. It also need authorization. So I will just take a bearer token, which is already pasted here, that I have got from this developer account. I will just send it and see what I'm getting. Okay, it is saying that this is forbidden. Maybe I'm not using the API that has access to v2, but I will just change this bearer token first. I've changed it. I will send the request again. Okay, it is saying uses cap exceeded monthly product cap. Okay, because I have already downloaded a lot of data. So what I will do, I will use some other API. I have other key as well. I will just copy it and download the data using that. Okay, so I am copy and pasting another bearer token here. I will send the request now, and now you can see you are getting some more data here, but its format is different. Let me copy this first. This was for v1, right? Now just refresh it, paste it here, go to viewer, and you are getting two objects. One is data, another is meta. And data is like you are getting 10 tweets here. You are just getting id and text, nothing else. And if you see it here in zero, you are getting a lot of data. So basically what v1 is doing, v1 is giving v1.1. Okay, so whenever I am saying v1, I mean actually v1.1. Don't get confused, okay? So in v1.1, you are basically getting a lot of data. But in v2, you get all these two fields only. If you want to get more fields, you need to specify that. And see if you are getting anything in meta. You are not getting much in this thing. You are not, you are just getting these two things, right? Let me show you v2 again. So what it is saying, you need to get into this, right? Get into detail of this. So it is saying you need to use expansion. This is optional, but if you want to get these things, you need to use expansion. If you want to get media fields, you need to use these things. If you want to use or get place fields, you need to use these things. Poll fields. If you want to get tweet fields, so I will show you how you can get tweet fields. I will just use one of these. So in parameters, just use tweet fields, tweet dot fields, and see what tweet fields we have. Maybe author ID, we can use author ID here. Just try to get author ID. Now we are getting author ID as well, right? If you want to get more of these things, we can use like created at. If we don't have created at already, yeah, we don't have. So let's put comma here, created at, and now you will get more things here. So you are getting created at. I hope you can notice these things. If you want to get user fields, you need to use this thing and use user fields here. And what details you can get in user, maybe the name of the user, or maybe the username of the user, whatever you want to get, right? So maybe the name of the user, or maybe username, or maybe the verified field. If you want to get this, just send the request, and you are not getting it here in data, right? See, you are not getting anything in data, but maybe at the end you will get another object. Okay, we are not getting anything. We are not getting user fields. Yeah, you are not getting user fields, and the reason for that is it allows you to select these user fields, but you must also pass one of the user expansion to return the desired fields. So expansions should be author ID and something like that, whatever you want to get from that. So I will use expansions, and what you want to get, you want to get user fields name, user field username, and user field verified. So let's just check this thing. Okay, so I think we need to pass the author ID to get this, because we are getting tweet fields author ID created at. We also need to get this into expansion, and then we'll get the user fields. So just try this and just check whether we are getting user or not. So we'll get an include object. Yeah, we are getting an include object now. So verified false name. So we are getting everything, right? So this expansion is also necessary. So you can see there is a little bit complication in V2 now. In V1 it was very V1.1 it was very simple. You don't need to do anything. You are just getting the data using just this search term, and you are getting the whole tweet. But now in V2, if you see, you need to provide these tweets and these data fields specifically what you want. So you are basically getting these things. See, you are getting just ID and text by default, right? So that's how it is. I will just close this. So I hope this is clear to you. Now, if you want to create any tweet, maybe you want to do something using V1.1. So here is the V1.1 twitter.com api.twitter.com 1.1 status update JSON. So this is what I am basically getting from the documentation. I have not written it on my own. And then this is status, means this is the test tweet. I will just change its content done using Postman. And you can see, let me open my Twitter first, and you can see this is my Twitter. I will go to profile, and this is the last tweet I have done, right? I will just try to do a tweet using this. I don't know whether it's going to work. Yeah, I think it is going to work. This is tweet truncated false. So I have got an ID as well. See, I can delete this tweet using this ID now. So let me refresh this page, and you can see this is tweet done using Postman. I have got it here, right? So let me first delete this tweet. I will copy this ID, and I have already created the post delete. And now you can see I am using API twitter.com again 1.1 and destroy id.json, and here I need to use the ID. So I will use ID here. This is the ID right now that I have got using that I have created, right? So let me just send this request first, and it is returning this tweet. But let me refresh this page and see if this tweet is deleted or not. And you can see the tweet is gone. So you have used V1.1 to get the tweet and basically delete the tweet. All right. So you can use a lot of things using this Postman API. Now what I will do, I think this video is already lengthy, but yeah, I will show you some programs. Okay guys, so what I will do, I will just create a Python file, Twitter download. I will just make it tweet download. And what I will do, I will use this file, tweet download, to download the data or download the tweets using V1.1 and V1. V2 2.0 or V2. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I have basically created a config file where my API keys are stored. So you need to first import pp, and you need to import config as well because my keys are there. And then I will use a query, and query is like COVID. I will use this query only. And what I want to do, I basically want to load the API, right? So I have already written code for that. So this is just getting the consumer key from the this config file, and then it is authenticating. I'm just trying to use Twitter one v1.1 right now, and when I create this function, if I want to load the API, I will just write API equal to load API, and now this thing is going to return this authentication to this, right? Now what I can do, I will just get a response, and API dot search tweets is the function, and you need to pass the query inside this. And from where I'm getting this tweet function, let me show you. If you go this documentation TP, search tweets here, search all. I just want to search tweets, so this one. So search tweet, we need to pass q, and all other are optional. You can see it here, right? And what is this? If you go to this documentation, I have already shown to you. We use this address in Postman right now, but I want to code this thing, and if you want to code this thing, you need to use this function, right? So let me show you again. When I run this, or when I run this line here, this statement here, it's going to get you a response. And what is that response going to be? If you just check it, it's going to be a search results. Okay, so many tweets are going to fetch from this query. What I want to do, I just want to write a function so that I can store these tweets. So what I will do, I will pass a response inside this, and I will just create a file, a JSON file. We don't have any JSON file here right now. So tweets.json on, and I will make it v1, but we don't have this write function right now. So what I will do, I will just create a function here, write tweets, and I want to pass a response, what I'm getting. And another thing, I want to pass this file name maybe. Okay, and this function is going to open file name in append mode, or you can also use write mode right now, because I'm not going to append multiple tweets here. But yes, you can say for in response. So I will use json dot dump, and whatever object or whatever tweet I am getting right now, it will have json a dot underscore json. So it going to dump it to in JSON format, and then it's going to write, and I will just use a new line every time. But we have not imported JSON somewhere, right? Just import JSON first. It's giving some error, but yeah, let's run it. It should be working. So this is tweet download, and what I'm going to do here, Python 3 tweet download. Okay, auth handler is not defined again. So what I have to do, I need to import from 3p, import auth handler. I hope it worked now. Okay, so it has worked. It has created some file most probably here, tweets v1.json. So we have got 15 tweets. If I just copy one of them, maybe I will just refresh this so that it's empty. This is one tweet, and this is we got using v1.1. So have you seen the program, the way I have written a program? This is just for writing the tweets, and here is the one for loading the API, and this is the just one thing that I have used. Okay, I have not used any other parameters. So this is using v1.1. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to basically load the API for another one. So I will just comment this. I have again written the program for the client as well. So this is the program. Even if you don't want to use all these things, it is not necessary. So in V 1.1, we don't have any thing like this. Wait on rate time. So in V2, basically you can wait on rate time automatically. You don't need to handle it on your own. And this is going to return client. And why it is returning client and what we are going to do with that? Just see the this thing. This is API, but let's go to V2 somewhere. Most probably, okay. I will search here maybe. This is Twitter API V2, and in this, if you want to search something, this is V2, and here we have a client object, and in this client object, you can basically search the tweets. So we are going to use this function, client search all tweets, or maybe search recent tweets, any one of them. Okay. So let's go back. So using this, we are going to load the keys, load API client, and now as we have loaded the client, so let's try to get the response, and it will be client dot whatever you want to use, whether you want to use search all tweets or search recent tweet. I'm going to use this. It will not matter whatever you want to do, right? And now you need to pass q and then query, which we have already defined above here somewhere, COVID. Okay. And once you have got the query, oh sorry, I think here is the queue and here you need to use the query, and then you can get some maximum results, maybe 10. And then if you want to get some extra fields, you can do that, but I'm not trying to get that. Okay. So let's run this program and see whether it works or not. Okay, request is not defined, so what we have to do, we just need to import request. So because we are using request here, just try to run it again. Okay, there is something. Okay, there is some problem that it has no attribute JSON, because it doesn't have this object what we are seeing here. So what we have to do, when we are seeing this response, let me change this first. So this data format, that whatever we are getting right now here, it should be response dot JSON, and inside this we need to get the data. uh, how i'm how I understand is that this is going to be the response. So let me show you here, or maybe in this one v2 I have shown somewhere. If you see this v2 search, so basically in response you are getting data, right? And from data you need to get something out of this. Are you getting my point? So let's go back. So this data I don't need anything else. So there are a lot of things here. This meta is there, but I'm not getting into that detail. So from the JSON, I'm getting data only. Okay. And maybe you can save this into something else, or I can write JSON response. So this is basically the response that I'm getting from the this v2. Whatever I'm getting, this I need to pass here, right? So go to this thing and remove this JSON. Just try to run this program now. Okay, something has been written. Okay, let's go see this open. And now you can see we have got 10 tweets because we have said that we want 10 tweets. And if you just check what kind of tweets we are getting, just refresh this, copy it here, and these two things we are only getting, right? So how we have done this? We have just written this program, a small program, and using this we are doing these kind of things. Okay. So if you want to get anything extra, in this program we are not using this load API. Okay, we are just using API client. If you want more thing, uh, after that maximum results, maybe you can write a few more things, whatever you want. Maybe you want tweet fields, you can write about that. If you want maybe let me show you. If you want tweet fields, so how you can write that tweet fields, or maybe I will just go into another line, and then you can write tweet fields, but you need to define what is tweet fields before this. So tweet fields, what could be tweet fields? It could be anything that comes inside tweet fields. So maybe it's a author ID, and from where you are getting all these things are in documentation. I am not doing anything on my own. Okay, so let me show you something here. Not this one, maybe this one. Yeah, this one. So if you go to tweet fields, it has author ID, right? If you search the created at and all these things, then you can get all these things. But let me provide author ID only and just try to download it again. And I need to check whether I have got anything different this time. So these are other tweets that I have got. Just go to browser, just refresh it. I just want to check whether I have got anything new or not. And I think we have got author ID. Yeah, this time we are getting author ID. So this is new thing we are getting. So that is the difference between V1.1 and V2. So I hope I'm done with this lecture right now, because it's going to be very lengthy lecture, right? If you have any problem, if you have any question regarding these things, you can just post your queries in the comments, and I will try to respond back all of you. One more thing, yeah, just forgot to do one thing. Here I'm getting data only, right? So just go to API first and just see what else we have. We have meta as well, right? If you want meta, we can get meta. So right now I'm not uh, getting data only, I'm getting meta as well. Maybe better I just print it on the screen, and I hope that will work. See, these things we are getting. So what we get basically, this is the newest ID, this is the oldest ID. Between these two things, we are getting tweets. The result count of 10. The next token is this. If this search query has lot of other options or other tweets, you can access those tweets using next token. So I'm not going into detail of this thing right now, because I think this tutorial already lengthy. But if you want any help regarding these, you can just post a query in the comments. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you want any help regarding these, any of the things, because I have tried to make this lecture as informative as possible, but I think it has become lengthy. I hope you enjoy it. In the next video, I will try to maybe recap this thing what I have told in this video, and then we'll learn something new as well. Okay, so thank you so much. See you in the next video. Till then, thank you so much. Bye bye.